I gotta burp. Warning, this content contains a lot of sporadic burps. If this is your fetish or something that you don't mind, great, keep watching. If this is your peeve, you might want to skip this one. Hello and welcome back, you beautiful nerds, to another edition of a video on this channel. We're doing it once again every week. I am shocked that we're actually doing it, but we're doing it. Do y'all remember that episode of Magic School Bus where Miss Frizzle took the entire class to Arnold's stomach through digestion airways? Well, we're doing that today, except much cheaper, on a YouTube budget, on a budget fit for a phone screen. Ooh. Not bad. So since March 2020, I've noticed that my digestion has taken a weird left turn, and it's almost embarrassing to talk about because, it's like, and a lot of, in the interpretive dance world, this would be translated as a lot of, you got me. You guys get it. You feel me. It's almost embarrassing to talk about, but this is a channel about adulting, where we address the fact that we still feel like we're 13 years old, except now we have our 401ks and our backs hurt. Don't ask me how that happened. It just did to all of us. So then I thought, what the hell? Why don't we just tackle this very complex and unrelenting system known as the human GI tract? The TLDR of this is I have developed this issue that makes me spontaneously burp. And I have never been the kind of person who could burp on command. I've always admired those people. I never really wanted that for myself, but look at me now, Mom. I'm 10 years out of college and all I have to show for it is a tiny mountain of student loan debt and this developing gas issue. Whatever, I'm 32. I haven't bought a house yet. Can't afford that. So for May's Year of the Body Challenge, I'm going to be taking 30 days to figure out how to fix my stomach. And because this is a specific topic that requires doctor intervention, I am going to be releasing part 1 of this video, obviously today, now is that time. And I'll be releasing part 2 in 2 weeks. So next week will be a different video, but then we'll circle back to this issue, I promise. So here's a little example about what exactly I've been dealing with. It is April 25th. I'm on a little walk, just vibing, just vibes, listening to my music, and then every 90 seconds, I like little burps. And this is just something, I deal with now, and I'm experiencing a lot of gas right now, so I'm trying to cure it the way my grandmama would have cured it, by going for a little constitutional walk. Gorgeous local art. Okay, so when you're dealing with issues of the eating and pooping system, or as I like to call it, your body's own personal in and out, you have to go see a specialist or a special doctor called a gastroenterologist. And because most of the issues of the gut occur inside of the body, the first thing they're gonna want you to do is a little outpatient procedure called a colonoscopy and an endoscope. Usually they're sandwiched together, kind of like a combo order. Now, if you have parents over the age of 45, you might have already heard about these terms before because it's a procedure that most adults over a certain age get done yearly or every other year. Now, a colonoscopy is when they take a little baby camera and stick it up your back door to see what's going on in your colon. Like, what's going on in here, you guys? It's kind of like a legal robbery. They just break in, take some pics, and then cut out anything that they want, or they decide that doesn't belong there anymore, and then they take that piece out. That's how I thought about it, at least. And for an endoscope, it's the same thing, except instead of going up, they go down your esophagus, go down your pie hole. The thing about colonoscopies is it's a really easy procedure. Usually it takes about an hour to an hour and a half, but the sticking point is patients usually have to prep the day before. And you do that by fasting and then eventually drinking this drink that helps you clean house, as it were. My colonoscopy, my rules, okay? So I'm gonna put a little ice cube in this, all right? We're gonna make this into some kind of cocktail, okay? Ooh, oh wow, this ice cube's too big. Hold on. Yeah, bitch. My parents might have been lying to me because this poop juice smells good. It smells like a Crystal Light. It's a cocktail. When you put ice in it, it's a cocktail. We're gonna pour it like the classy broads that we are. Oh, I'm spilling the poop juice everywhere. That's important. I can't spill any of the poop juice. And lastly, I'm gonna drink this shit with a straw because I know that I drink things with a straw quicker than just drinking things normally. And I know this because this is how many times I've accidentally gotten drunk at a bar. It's not bad. It just tastes like Crystal Light.
It's not bad.
There's a lot of this, I will say. I gotta let a little fucking Crystal Light poop juice get the better of me, not this bitch. The human body is insane, like truly insane. First off, I really wanted to weigh myself after I drank the drink, but before and then after the cleaning, so I could get this like definite number. So then that way I could calculate a percentage of just how full of shit I am. Let me walk you through my calculations. If I take the number that I originally weighed and then after I shit my brains out, then one can calculate that amount of weight, the difference between those two numbers is the amount of human garbage I had in my body at one time. And then I could divide the second number by the first number and then determine what percentage of shit I am. So if someone like my mom, for an example, says to me, "You're full of shit," I can go, "No, Mom, I'm not full of shit. I'm 6.9% full of shit." That was a number I pulled out of my ass. But as much as I wanted to do that, that simply couldn't happen, if you know what I mean. You know, there are times when you're walking around the world and you think, "I'm in control of my body," and then you realize you're absolutely not. You sure you want to keep watching? Fun update about me. I shit myself this evening. Also, a really fun update is Pat's way more attentive when I shit myself.
It kicked in gear. Before it was like you were just drinking liquids, so it's like, okay, you're drinking liquids, and then you were like,
It took us both by surprise,
now
really.
I'm in the shitting phase. And I was like, all right, well, now what can I do for you?
Listen, I didn't go into this experience thinking that I was gonna make a video about my BMs, but apparently we have a lot of shit to cover before we get to the bottom of this issue. But I hear you. We've been really laser focused on human waste and things of the like. So let's just take a little break to thank our sponsor because they've played a huge role in the cleanup process. Billy is a company that's out here trying to build a better bathroom shelf for all by bringing gals like me a more affordable and better quality bathroom experience. But let's check the facts, shall we? Men and women shave differently. Oftentimes women shave 10 times more surface area, and plus we have to navigate a lot more angles and curves. That's why Billy designed their razor for womankind. Pink tax not included. What I love about Billy is their 5-blade razor, which is encased in a charcoal shave soap for an incredibly smooth glide every time. Another thing I love is it comes with a magic holder to keep your razor stored safely on your shower wall, which is a huge thing. I just gotta say, sometimes I don't know how to store a razor. You don't wanna put it down because of the bacteria, but then put it up, and is that good for the drain? You know, they take care of that for you. It's right there. Let's be honest. This entire panini that we've been in for the past year has really made a lot of us rethink how we manage our body hair. And trust me, I have very easy body hair to manage. Like before the pandemic, I used to shave maybe once a week, and now I'm like down to once every couple weeks. But with Billy, I noticed that's okay. My razor doesn't get rusty or crusty, and it gives me that shave, that perfectly baby smooth shave every time, as if it's the first time I've opened the razor. Another reason why I love Billy is because they look to the Environmental Working Group, or the EWG, the unbiased resource on all things clean, to guide their product formulation. And the result? All of their products have an EWG score of 1 to 3, meaning that all of their products are safe for the environment. Listen, we love a company that gives us some peace of mind. You can now get Billy's starter kit, literally everything that you see in this box, for just $9. And if this is something that interests you, click on my link in the description box below. Okay, y'all, so you have got to believe me that I asked for the footage of my esophagus and colon. I asked for it. Technically, I know as a digital producer that that footage doesn't belong to me. According to copyright law, whoever takes the picture, whoever owns that camera or that phone owns the footage, even though it's my colon, my body, my rights, whatever. Wow, look at us learning a little bit of copyright law together. I asked for the footage, but apparently they don't keep the footage. They're just like in and out. But I asked for that footage because I wanted to show y'all the goings-ons of a colonoscopy, but because I don't have the footage, you're just gonna have to hear it from me. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was really easy. All you have to do is wake up early. I don't know why they always make you wake up early for these things. Like, why do they always schedule surgeries at the ass crack of dawn? I'm sure that there is a perfectly good administration answer to this question. Like, there's probably some paperwork that takes a long time. But everyone is cranky that early in the morning. Nobody wants to be performing surgery at 7:30 in the morning. Like, why do we do that? So you go into a very cold room where they make you sign some papers that say that if you die during the procedure, you won't sue from the grave. Fine. So then you go into a different room and you take off all your clothes and then get into a bed and put a blanket over your body. And then a nurse comes in and she tries to give you an IV in your arm, but you have dumb baby veins that flip and shudder whenever somebody tries to poke you. So another nurse has to come in and stab you while you watch TikToks on your phone and completely disassociate. Then when the IV is in, you pretend like you don't own that arm anymore. It's dead to you. Shortly after that, you meet your anesthesiologist. Mine happened to be a very hot man. Just gonna say that now. Now, I have negotiated with a bunch of drug dealers in my life, both hot and otherwise. And the trick is you have to present yourself as put together and like you can handle the strong stuff. So I cracked a few jokes and he was like, that's not funny, let's go ahead and put her under. And then I was like, hey guy, like, I don't know what you, and then I was out. When you wake up, you will lightly insult your nurse by asking her how much she's enjoying college, and then she'll inform you that she's been a nurse for the past 20 years, and you'll say, oh my God, I'm sorry, and pivot to how good her skin looks, and be like, oh my God, I thought you were 24. Yikes. After about 15 minutes, they'll come in and tell you that they need the bed. Another day, another asshole, I presume. So then you'll stumble through putting on your clothes again, and then you'll go into that first cold room and wait for your ride. In my case, that was Patrick, and when Patrick arrived, he asked if I wanted anything and I said no. I went, nothing that you're offering. All I want is to go home, I want an omelet, and I want to go to bed. And that's exactly what I did. Oh my God, food is so good. First meal back is an omelet with caramelized onions, Patrick's specialty. I'm still very bluesy. Hopped up from the drugs. I'm gonna eat this and pass out. So after any outpatient procedure, there's usually a period of time where you have to kind of wait for the results. It's a special time where you continue to live your life normally, even though you feel completely different than before. Like, I'm sorry, I just had my camera and butt cherry popped, and I feel like this is a new stage of womanhood that must need to be acknowledged. I mean, I had never had a camera up my butt before. Doesn't really matter because they make you wait, and while you wait, you end up doing your normal activities, and you still burp throughout them. And by you, I mean me. I did all my normal activities like exercising and drinking water. And apparently exercising and drinking water makes me burp even more. You know what, bitch? Let's do some yoga. All of a sudden, I get these like sporadic burping fits. Like, and they're not tiny like Cinderella burps, y'all. This is like massive Shrek like burps, okay? They come from within, and they all got started as soon as I started stretching out this left side. I feel like I'm burping myself. If this is something simple, like, oh, you have acid reflux. Not that acid reflux is super simple, but like there seems to be medication that I can take for that. I'm gonna feel so silly because I just didn't know sporadic burping was ever a symptom. Like, if someone had told me 15, 20 years ago that this was gonna be adulthood, I would have been like, no ma'am, we're gonna turn that car around. What the fuck? But you know what, eventually I had my post-procedure appointment with the good doc. And here's what he had to say. Ooh, hello. My doctor is about to call me. He's about to FaceTime me and we're gonna find out the results of my colonoscopy and my endoscope. I am seriously hoping that he comes back with a diagnosis of being like, oh, you have this, take this medication. But I have a feeling it's not gonna be as simple as that. Hi, Dr. Silver.
You know, we did this colonoscopy because of diarrhea to make sure you didn't have colitis or anything.
Right.
But remember after the procedure I told you you had some polyps?
Yeah, 3 polyps.
You know, polyps are very common in old people, meaning over the age of 45 or 50. The American Cancer Society recommends everyone in this country get a colonoscopy at 45 to prevent colon cancer. The fastest rising rate of colon cancer in this country is in 40-year-olds. Chad Boseman passed away, he was 43, which means he had something growing inside of him for a long time that was not addressed. So you actually had significant polyps. If you were 45, they'd be significant. At 32, they were more significant.
Oh God.
They're not life-threatening in any which way whatsoever. For whatever it's worth, that your body was having other issues, from your perspective, it's a good thing that you had this colonoscopy done. And if it were me, I would use colonoscopy again in a year or two, just to make sure that you don't have new ones. If in a year or two it's normal, then you can push it off to 3 years and then 5 years. In terms of the acid reflux, we will, and that's probably what's causing this burping, belching, and all that stuff. I'll send you a different medication that's going to be covered. I wish I had known you should reach out to me, but they didn't. So I'm going to give you something called pantoprazole, which is covered by everybody. In terms of the diarrhea, the gas, the bloating, and all that, I think we spoke about the role of bacteria in this stuff. And then there's a prescription medication called Xifaxan.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Silver.
Now it goes.
All right. Bye. Thank you. Oh. Okay. I have to think about this. I'm still processing what I actually think, because last Thursday I got news that I am at high risk of getting colon cancer. So now a bitch pivots. What does that mean? What am I gonna be pivoting to help fix my stomach? I guess you'll just have to find out. Once again, this is part 1. Part 2 is gonna come out in 2 weeks. I'll see you next week, you beautiful nerds.